gosh, dude. No way. Got both my pinchers. We'll flip it back in there, see if she'll just reaction strike. She sure did. Oh, yes. In today's video, we are going to be putting my 3 favorite flipping baits head to head against each other to see which one of these catches more bass and which one of these catches bigger bass. Here are the rules and how we're going to decide which one of these baits gets first, second, and third place. So the rules are, we are going to try to catch 3 bass on each one of these baits. So 3 bass on the Googan Nuke Punch, 3 bass on the Missile Baits D-Bomb, and 3 bass on this Strike King Rage Punch Bug. We are going to alternate. So we're not going to do, 3 in a row on this, 3 in a row on this, 3 in a row on this, because, bite windows change. One spot might be a little bit better. We want to make sure that we're alternating every single fish that we catch. So first we're going to start with the Strike King Rage Punch Bug. And what we're going to do is I'm going to set a timer on my phone right when I start fishing. We're going to fish that bait until we catch a fish. The second that we catch one, we're going to turn that timer off. We're going to get that total time that it took to catch that one fish on this bait. What we're also going to do is we're going to take our trusty scale here. We are going to weigh that fish. And like I said, we're going to do this 3 times for each one of these baits as we alternate for each bait. I know this sounds a little bit confusing, but it's going to make sense as we start fishing here. I think it's going to be the best way for us to determine which one of these baits truly is better. So we're going to get the total time, we're going to get the total weight for that fish, we're going to do a point system. So the bait that we catch the 3 fish on the fastest, it's going to get 10 points. The bait that catches the fish the second fastest is going to get 5 points. The bait that catches fish the third fastest is going to get 3 points. What we're going to also do is the bait that catches the biggest bass in total weight for those 3 fish is going to get 10 points. Bait that catches second biggest fish for total weight for 3 fish is going to get 5 points, and third place is going to get those 3 points as well. So that all makes sense. But the final kicker, the final bonus is the total weight of each fish is also going to count towards the points. So if we catch a 5-pounder, that bait is going to get 5 points added to its total as well. So this is the fairest way that I can think of to test which one of these baits is going to catch fish the quickest for you and get the biggest bites for you as well, and overall be the best bait. But we've got the big flipping stick on our head, level NGX, 7'8", heavy action. We're going to be putting this thing in some gnarly cover and hopefully catching some really big bass. So without further ado, like I said, we're going to start with that Strike King Rage Punch Bug rigged up there on a 1-ounce weight, and we are going to get to flipping right now. It is a little bit windy out here, but hopefully this wind is going to push these bass up into these pads. We are going to get that challenge started right now. With that stopwatch, we've got the scale at the ready, so when we do catch a fish, like I said, that's going to also come into play. We want to know if we're going to catch fish quick, and also, one of these baits might catch a lot better average fish too, so I want to take both of those things into consideration, not just catching the fish. If you catch 50 bass in an hour, but they're all 1 pound, and then one bait catches 5 bass, but they're all 5 pounds, I would rather throw the bait that's catching 5-pounders. There we go. Oh no. Oh, I still see her. I still see her. I still see her. I still see her. Is she still on there? I saw her for a sec. Oh, no, I think she's gone. She's gone. She's gone, dude. That's the problem with flipping some of that heavier cover. Sometimes they get a little bit tangled up in there, even with the right equipment. The hook point pops through, catches that log right there. We lost her. That was the first bite. We're probably about 5 minutes in, give or take. That was actually a little piece of wood cover right there. Not quite a pad, but hey, whatever. We're gonna flip whatever's in front of us. Here's some more wood right here. See if there's any over here willing to bite. I can't believe I just missed that one though. It looked like a decent 2-pounder. It wasn't a giant, but I saw her whole body flash. She was on there for a second, and then we must have got that hook tip in that wood, and she just popped right off. Got him, got him. There we go. Come on, baby, come on, baby. Oh my gosh, why did that feel so big? Well, that's number 1. Let me stop that stopwatch. God, I thought that was a big one. All right, it actually took us 12 minutes to get number 1, which is a little bit longer than I thought, but we did miss one about halfway through that time. So we got 12 minutes on the clock. I gotta write that exact time down. It's 12 and some change. I gotta weigh this fish really quick, which not very big, but it is gonna add to the total for that Strike King Rage Punch Bug. And I don't even know if she's gonna go a pound. She sure will not even close. Oh no, she is, never mind, 0.99, about exactly a pound. So 0.99, I'm gonna get both of those recorded in my phone here really quick, the time and the weight, and then we're gonna move on to, let's do the Missile Baits D-Bomb next. Pounder, going back in. First fish, so 1 out of 3 fish knocked out. Like I said, we are gonna switch it up every single bait just to try to make it as fair as possible. Going right through the nose there. Pushing it up over the barb, flip it around, find where that hook is going to pop through, and stabbing it right up the middle there. So Like I said, this is truly my go-to flipping bait, but I've caught some really big ones on that Strike King bait, caught some big ones on that Googan Nuke punch, and I just wanted to see what's gonna be the best. When you think flipping, you think a D-bomb though, so if I had to pick one to win, it would probably be this, but we will find out if that's gonna hold true or not. Let's start that timer right now. Try to get fish number 1 on that Missile Baits D-bomb. No bites on the D-bomb yet, and we're flipping some really good looking stuff. Pretty surprising. Couple minutes in so far. We're gonna go back in this little cut here. See if we can catch one back in here, but all these pads kind of leading into it should be good. We should be catching fish. Got him right in that hole there. Not a big one, but hey, that is number 1 on the D-bomb. I think we got to be at about the same time. Let me check. That stopped, yep, 12 minutes and 31 seconds. So what was that, like 30 seconds longer than that Strike King Rage Punch Bug. I think we might have to move spots here. I'm gonna try to keep it even though, so I'm gonna try to get the Googan one back here or out in these pads here. It just doesn't seem like this is gonna be the area. And so once we get one on each bait, I'm gonna move to a new spot so we're hopefully on the same caliber of fish in that next spot. Once we switch back over and start using that same bait again. Like I said, this one is 0.83. So the Rage Punch Bug was a little bit quicker and caught a little bit bigger bass. We're gonna get that recorded though, little guy. Under a pound. We need to get some much bigger fish. So far it's been little dinkers. Let me get the Googan bait out here. Because I'm trying to keep it as even as possible. I don't want to go to a new area and it be so much better than here, so I catch one really quick and it's a great big one. So I'm gonna try to get one on the Googan here just because I don't think this is the right spot. It might be another small one and then we'll move spots, go try to find some bigger ones. So we're kind of on the same playing field for all 3 of these baits. So we're gonna get this rigged up. The green pumpkin on this is a little bit different. Not as dark, kind of almost like a watermelon green pumpkin it seems like, but got the Googan rigged up and I'm going to start our timer here. See if we can flip one up back in here or back on those main lake pads here in a sec. Timer is started. All right, out to the main lake we go. Ooh, something moved right there. You always got to watch the pads. Whenever you see something moving and shaking, there's either a bass or a carp typically nearby. Yeah, always be looking for those pad stems to be moving. You got to flip in there right away. Some of the most high percentage flips are when I see something move, flip in there, get bit almost every time. Got him. There we go. It's a little better fish. That is the biggest one so far. I gotta stop the stopwatch. I don't know where we're at time-wise. Oh my gosh, it's like crazy how every 12 minutes we're getting a bass. 12 minutes and 12 seconds for that one. So we are pretty dang close to even. I think we're definitely gonna catch some bigger fish, but I'm assuming the Googan's probably gonna be in first place because this bass being a little bit heavier is gonna help it out. 1.19 pounds, 119. So a little bit over a pound, not a giant by any means, but hey, we got a fair race. We got a fair race going. We got it nice and clean. We literally exactly fished this little stretch of pads. So every bait had about the exact same amount of time fishing a very similar area too. So I feel like it's a very fair challenge so far, which is what I'm going for. So we're gonna go back to that Strike King Rage Punch Bug and I'm gonna go move spots, hopefully go try to find us some bigger fish and maybe even get bites a little bit quicker than 12 minutes too. We gotta know which one of these baits is gonna come out on top. I truly do not know. We're gonna go flip this around, some new pads and try to get some bigger bass. Spot number 2. Got a couple little smaller isolated patches of pads here and then another big one right over there to the right. Got our Strike King Rage Punch Bug rigged up. Guess I'm gonna get us a little bit closer to the pads and I'm gonna get this timer started. So looking for fish number 2 on the Strike King. Start the timer. Oh, picked it up and dropped it. Dang it, dude. You gotta flip back in there. Sometimes they'll come back. Frogging and flipping, when they're buried up in there, they don't really know you exist. Get back in there, they'll bite it again a lot. Dang, that was crazy. She just went donk and then I felt her drop it instantly though. She might be on a bed or something up there too, just kind of swiped it. Just picking these apart. I don't know, we gotta be about 10 minutes or close to it into this Strike King second fish attempt right now. So far, that was the first little sign of life that we've had. So I just moved spots really quick. I did pause the timer just because I don't want the travel time to count towards, you know, not catching a fish on this bait. Pulling up to these other pads right here. This is a really good stretch. I think that we're gonna get bitten here for sure, but get the timer started again. We're at 10 minutes and 41 seconds. So really close to where we were for the first 3 fish on all 3 of the baits, around that 12-minute mark. So hopefully we could catch one here really, really quick. Keep it around that or less for all these baits. It's actually really surprising me how long it's taken to catch a fish on each one of these baits so far. I thought like every 5 minutes or so we were just gonna be flipping up 4-pounders. Has not been the case, at least this far into the video. Oh, there was one. Missed her. That would have been perfect. I bet we're right at like 12 minutes right now. Try to get back in there real quick. Dang it, dude. We got bit. We got 2 bites on this thing now. That's weird. 2 bites and no fish to show for it this time around so far. Got her. I was questioning whether or not that was a bite. Oh, it's not big either, so that's not going to make up for how long that took. Not looking great. 27 minutes and 9 seconds. 27.9, and probably about the same as, you know, some of those other ones that we caught. Not very big. 27 minutes and 0.80, 0.80. So not even a pound. All that work for that fish right there. Jeez. I will say one thing, the durability of this bait is crazy because we set hook on this thing like 5 or 6 times, and if you guys flip a lot, you know that that's a pretty rare sight. This big old beefy hook, you even set hook, don't even catch one half the time your hook is tearing that plastic up. So I'm gonna do a brand new one for the next one for our final fish on that bait, but I honestly think I could get another one out of it, especially if I didn't just take it off like we just did, because we gotta do this little challenge. But D-bomb, same deal. We got one on this one already, and we're gonna flip it on the backside, but overall, she was in great shape. That Googan, I'm definitely gonna have to use a new one because it was pretty tore up. So keep all that in mind. There's really no way for me to strategically, you know, give it points and whatnot for all that, but durability-wise so far, Strike King and the D-bomb have done the best. Starting timer right now. It was a good bite. I mean, like I said, we got a bunch of bites on that thing and they just weren't getting hooked for some reason. But that one finally got. It'll be insane. If we catch one like 5 flips in on the D-bomb, one of these baits is either gonna run away with it because we're gonna get them really quick on it, or we're just gonna catch a freak. I don't know what's gonna happen yet, but something like that has got to be upon us. Okay, so I'm an idiot. I just realized I still had this thing in narrow view. When I shot my intro, I put it in narrow view, so hopefully it wasn't too awful. I went back and looked at a couple of the clips. You could definitely still see what was going on, but my hands were pretty tight to it. So I put it back in wide view. I stopped the stopwatch there for a second. We're at 2 minutes and 28 seconds. Gonna start throwing the D-bomb around again. Looking for fish number 2 on the D-bomb. So I apologize. It was probably way too close for you guys to really see what was going on. Starting the timer now. Looking for fish number, what would it be? Fish number 5, but fish number 2 on this D-bomb. We need to get a much bigger bite. Somewhere, somehow, on one of these baits. It's gotta happen. Got him. Oh no, I felt him come off, dude. I felt him come off. We need to get fish number 2 on this D-bomb here. We're starting to get up there in time for this thing too. Flipped a lot of pads with this thing. Not getting very many bites. Oh, no. Oh, he's right there. He's right there. He's right there. He's right there, dude. One chased it all the way out. I was starting to get discouraged. I wasn't fishing this thing very good. That was a good one too. That was the best one by far. It's at least a 2-pounder. We're gonna get one on the D-bomb here before we get to the end of these little pads. Come on. Looks so good. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, it's so small though. The one that just followed it was like a 2-pounder. Okay, I gotta stop the timer. Hold up, buddy, sorry. All right, 17 minutes, so actually not too bad on the time. Didn't go almost 30 like the freaking Strike King did in the last one, but just missed like a 2-pounder. Camera view should be good now, boys and girls. You guys should be able to hear. The mic should be all set. We're gonna get this fish on the scale. 0.99, another basically 1 pounder. I think that's, or that was the same as the first striking fish, I think. Something like that, I don't know. 0.99, she's going back in. We are moving back to the Googan, second fish on the Googan. Alrighty, so time was recorded, 17:04. We're gonna X that out. Start up a new one. Googan bait, bait number 2. So we're getting close to our final run. We gotta get one on this, see how long it takes, see how big it is, and then we're gonna do one more bass in every single one of these. And then you guys know the point system we explained at the beginning. So I'll have to tally that all up and see what we're left with. So it's still a pretty close race, depending on what this Googan bait does right here. It could be anybody's game. If we get one pretty quick on either one of those baits, or like I said, any big fish is gonna change the game. And I just know one of these baits has gotta catch one. Oh no, I think that was a big one. I think we stuck her though. She was up there in like an inch of water, dude. Oh, she was so shallow up in those pads. That felt like a good one. We got to see her back come out of the water a little bit too. Oh, I think that was a nice fish. That might have been our big bite we were looking for. Got him. Oh, dude, I thought, see, maybe it wasn't big, dude. Some of these fish, they're just so shallow. They get so caught up in those pads. Well, let me stop the timer. That is 2 on every single one of these baits. 11 minutes, 45 seconds. Not very big. It is wide open as to who wins this challenge. Because Googan caught, I mean, I guess that was pretty quick, but this is also, I think, the smallest fish. Yeah, Googan's doing good on time compared to, especially the striking, but this is very, very small bass. Oh, well, not as small as I thought. 0.81. She has got a little bit of tall back to her. 0.81. I don't even think that's the smallest one, dude. Oh, we need to get some bigger fish. We're gonna get a brand new striking on there. Rage Punch Bug. Give her a freshie. And this one needs to catch a fish fast, and it's gotta be big. 'Cause otherwise, it's pretty much over for striking. It's gonna be a last place finish. If we don't get a big one, or if we don't get one really quick here, this bait's gonna be in trouble. So far, I think we have the smallest fish and also by far the longest time on the striking bait. I'm just gonna troll this over by these shallow pads over here. It seems like they're way up shallow in some of these pads, so not that I haven't been trying shallow. I've been fishing shallow, deep, middle of the road type pads. I mean, we flipped about every dang pad on this lake. We are rigged up there. All right, fish number 3 for each one of these baits. We're gonna start that timer right now. So let's go striking. We gotta get a fish striking. Oh, I almost swung on that. Oh, there we go. Oh, no. It was really tiny, but that would have been by far the fastest. That was like a minute in. It was so small. Oh, but we missed her anyway. That would have made things very interesting for the time portion of this challenge. The hook like never popped out of the bait. Probably because that fish was so small, trying to penetrate their mouth. This big old beefy hook on a hook set, sometimes when there's like nothing to lay into, they just come flying. Doesn't really get a chance to stick in there. Got him. That's quick. No, no. Oh, he's still on, he's still on. He's still on, and it's a decent one too. Decent for the day so far. Okay, we gotta make this interesting. 4 minutes and 48 seconds. I missed the button there. It went to 4:49, but 4:48. 4:48. I think that we just caught one of the better ones of the day too. Yeah, you see me getting excited. That's not great, guys. I mean, it's not a big fish at all. 4:48. And yep, it is the biggest one so far. So Strike King is making a late charge. 121, 1 1/4 pounder just about. Absolute freakzilla. All right, she's going back in. D-bomb is rigged up and ready to go. I'm just gonna walk right in the back. I guess, yeah, I got my phone in my pocket. We're gonna start the timer. We'll stay spot locked here for a second. Starting timer now. These pads do look good. There's got to be a freaking big one in here somewhere. And that one came back for it, which is nice. Like I said, they'll do that a lot. When you're flipping or frogging in the pads, they're buried up in there. They do not know that you exist. So if you miss one, flip it right back in there, and there's a good chance they're gonna bite it again. She gave us another chance, which I am eternally grateful for. We're having a tough time out here. Got him. Come on. Oh no, dude. No. No. Oh my gosh, you gotta be kidding me. I saw the pad shake, dude. I knew it was on. That's crazy. You're not sticking them today and they're just not big. I mean, the challenge is close. That's the only good thing is it's really a toss-up as to what bait is doing better. I have no idea who's gonna win. We gotta be about 15-ish minutes in, give or take, with the D-bomb. Gosh, dude. No way. He got both my pinchers. We'll flip it back in there, see if she'll just reaction strike. She sure did. Oh, yes. It's a decent one, too. Come on, baby. Get up in here. Yes. Yes. Finally. Not a big one. Not like a freak, but hey, that is a big one for today. That might have just made it all worth it. Not even a big one, but man, a bite like that on the big rod, big line. Hear everything freaking screaming when you set the hook. Oh yeah, I gotta stop the timer too. 19 minutes, 19 seconds, 19. So decently long. That might be the second longest time off the top of my head, but definitely the biggest fish. So D-bomb strikes for a good one here. Get her on the scale. That one's gotta be close to 2 pounds, give or take. Yes, sir. 2.09, 209. So we got our 2-pounder. Hey, the Googan might still get the freak. We still need that like 4 or 5 pounder, but we do finally have a 2, flipping it up on that D-bomb. I'm so happy she came back. Look at this chunk, dude. I flipped this back in there, no claws. That is one of the key things. Like I said, if you get bit in the pads, you need to get back in there right away because there's a good chance, even if your bait looks like garbage, they're just so fired up that they're gonna eat it. That D-bomb fish right there definitely helped out a lot. That striking one that was really quick helped striking out a lot. It's anybody's game. Depending on how quick this happens and how big of a bass is can change the standings pretty dramatically. So let's see what we can do. One more bite on the Googan. That's all we need. Got him, got him, got him. Oh no, she's over the branch. She's over the branch. No. Here we go. Get up in here. Get up in here. That's a decent one. All right, boys and girls, 14 minutes and 3 seconds. It's gonna be very close. I think it's gonna be between the D-bomb and this Googan right here, because that's another probably close to 2-pounder. She might be, she's a little bit shorter, but a little bit fatter. 1.76. So I'm gonna have to do some calculations here and see where we're at, but 1.76 and 14, whatever I said, I'm gonna just punch all that stuff in, see what the score is looking like for those 3 baits, but 2 biggest ones at the end, of course it happens like that. Without further ado, let's get into the podium. First, second, and third place. We're gonna start with third place, and this was surprising to me. The striking bait got second place in the time trial, third place in the weight trial, had 11 points overall with our little point system. Second place was the D-bomb, and what really killed it is I thought that it was gonna get second place for the time trial. I didn't realize how long it took to catch fish in the D-bomb, so it got third place for the time, first place for the weight. It gave it 16.91 points when we calculated that all together, and then first place, that last clutch fish there came pretty quick, 14-ish minutes, and it was our second biggest one of the day. So 18.76 points. It got the fastest in the time trial and second biggest in the weight trial, and then plus that weight added on there, 18.76 points. So thank you guys so much for watching. I apologize that we were on narrow mode there for a second. I'm lucky I caught it kind of midway through, fixed it. I will try my best not to do that again, but I will catch you guys in the next video.